everyone, and welcome to Training SA on SABC 3. Come on! Listen, happy No Pooza Thursday because of immediate effect. We are here to quench your thirst this lovely evening, and my name is Maple. And come on, give me more, give me more. And I'll be tending to your needs, but helping me serve your array of cocktails is the sassy refiller. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You dropped your surname like Oprah.
I mean, listen, I need that one name identifier. Refilwe, what else do you need?
Okay.
Right? Am I right?
And the sensational Elma Smith.
Thank you. I promise there's only water in my mug.
I see you're doing the whole, hello, mister, where you from? You got the Taylor Swift thing?
I've got my Taylor Swift hare and my rock and roll bikie.
The red lip is hot, by the way.
Yeah.
We need to keep that. Absolutely love it. Well, we also love hearing your views and seeing your comments. So join and engage our very intriguing conversation on all our social media platforms. That hashtag is #on3.
Now tonight we are joined by Zinhle Masango, who is a bodybuilder, a fitness trainer, and a survivor of gender-based violence. She is tough as nails, and she's an absolute inspiration. Our pin chat tonight is one that will get you talking. We're looking into how stereotypes in media have shaped society, and later on we'll play a game that is borderline invasive.
Borderline.
But it's super fun, so let's get going.
Well, our guest tonight knows firsthand the pain of abuse, and she is here to share with us those traumatic moments that have in fact shaped her life. Over the years, she's used her ordeal to build her brand as a life coach, as a personal trainer, and a survivor. Check her out.
I crawled out the gutter, I rose to the top. My reign everlasting, I can't be stopped. I was made for the throne.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zinhle Masango.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Unjani?
You're right, wena.
Great.
You're great.
You're fun.
It's so great to see you in person. It really, really is.
Thank you,
Welcome to the
Refilwe.
show.
Zinhle, let's just get into it.
Yes.
2013, you are expecting your bundle of joy.
Yes.
Now you are about to bore us on social media. Ne? And then ulotoliwe, doing the whole Sawubona Baba thing. It's love lives here all around. And then, whoa.
Yes.
What happened?
So, Mable, like you said, in 2013, I was living a fairy tale, believe it or not, at the age of 21. And unfortunately, everything turned sour. My partner at the time started becoming abusive. I didn't really delve into why it happened, but it's something that I went through at the time and, of course, had to separate from him.
So it happened all of a sudden?
Yes. It wasn't something that happened, like when you think it's going to happen or you see it coming, it literally just out of the blue happened, and I was even like shook.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Zinhle, your 2-year-old son was witness to an altercation with your fiancé. And first of all, I'm wondering how long this carried on for, because you were 21, you were very young. But I also want to know, was your son seeing that altercation the final straw? What led to your decision to say, hang on, I'm leaving?
So, Refilwe, it was over 2 years, right? This happened over 2 years. I think the first altercation, my son was about 6 months old. And the final straw was definitely when he was about to turn 2. And I remember when we were having our altercation with my fiancé at the time, he actually reprimanded him. And I thought to myself,
oh no,
even a 2-year-old can see this is wrong. And if I can't see it for myself, then there's something really, really wrong with this whole situation. And that was definitely the final straw for me, yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and I'm sure this isn't helpful, tend to, if not straight to your face, talk about gender-based violence victims and say, why didn't she leave? We'd been telling her for the longest time he isn't going to change. How should we help people who are victims of gender-based violence? What is helpful and what isn't?
So, Alma, personally for me, I think support is the biggest thing, Support from your peers, from your family. It's really, really something important. And I think even if we could have support groups for women where they can go and share their ordeals or anything that they went through during that period of time. Because if you don't know what I went through, it would be very difficult for you to empathize or sympathize with me. So I think support is the biggest factor here. And of course, being able to go to our authorities and going to say that, listen, this is what I went through, and them actually taking precautions towards the perpetrator.
So when your friend tells you, my partner is beating me, first stop, support.
Definitely. And I think because I've been through it, it's a lot easier for me to give advice and obviously say that, you see, I've come out of it and I'm still okay. If anything, I'm glowing even more.
Wow, yeah. You are.
Enye into Zinhle, amadoda don't get ukuthi physical abuse is not just ukushaya umuntu nekuphelele lapho escar heals. There's a lot of emotional stuff that happens. And when you went ngisayojima and you regained yourself through ukujima. Why ukujima? Why fitness?
You know, so I go as fitness junkie, and the reason why is because fitness was really a drug for me. You know, I was very small after I gave birth, obviously because I had unnecessary pressure to look good. And when I then started my body transforming and changing, it was more than just the physical change, you know, it was more psychological, it was also emotional. So for me, it was a place where I could be myself, I could be stronger, and I could definitely be a beast, you know, if anything.
Can you share, as a survivor, any words of wisdom for women that are trying to get the courage to leave?
Refile, for me, I really think that situation is very personal.
Yeah.
You know, so I always say to myself that, you know what, if I look at myself in the mirror, I need to understand that I deserve love. I deserve to be nurtured. I deserve to be taken care of and not beaten on by a man. So I think it's really, once you have a personal relationship with yourself and self-love, that's when you'll be able to then step out of it. Because like I said, you can't tell me to leave, or my Blair can't tell me to leave. It will be something that comes from within. And that's how I will then move from that situation to greener pastures. Yeah.
That's what makes it stick.
Yes, definitely.
And you know what? Gyms might have been closed for the longest time, but you cannot tell by looking at this woman and her physique. Have you always been sporty, or is this is just work?
So I've actually always been athletic, but at the beginning of lockdown, I was also drinking and doping like everyone, and I gained a little bit of weight. And so now my friend and I are actually running a challenge, a 21-day challenge and a refresh challenge. So we're actually helping women as well to transform their bodies, even during lockdown when they don't have germs and all these other things.
There you go. No excuses,
Yes, of course.
21-day challenge, but leave for money. Okay.
Actually, I want to challenge Elma, you guys, to taking part in this. I don't know, pressure, no pressure. I want to do it though. I'm in.
Okay, definitely.
We pinky swear, but social distancing.
Thank you for joining us. You are an absolute ray of inspiration and hope. It's so good to meet you. Let's go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll unpack some stereotypes that affect our daily lives.
And welcome back. Let's get to our pin chat. Now, there's no denying that the media, one way or the other, has shaped us. Today, I want us to actually talk about the subtle remodeling of society through stereotypes in the media. Like, guys, mina growing up, bengibona o Sharelle de Villiers. You know, ngibona abantu abanjengo Sally Spectra, and ngibona o Stefano Di Mera. And I didn't want to.
You've always been a villain.
No, I didn't want to be like them or burn the world down to the ground. But they were so cool. They had the sassy dialogue. Like, look. Just look at how amazing.
Drama.
You say that with such authority and conviction. Now, why do you think that I should obey you? Because I got the gun and you don't.
I mean, guys,
All I hear is
please look at
dramatic
that.
Casio music, and I think that's what got
Look at that.
you.
Look at that. There's a gun, a loaded gun in front of him, and he's just like, tell me what you want.
He's unmoved.
What you want.
This explains so much. Doesn't it?
No, guys, listen. And then refill who.
Let me tell you, I'll tell you what sticks out for me and what will always remain with me. As a kid, I used to love my Tom and Jerry cartoons. But it occurred to my young little mind, Oti, there's something so problematic about that lazy, sloppy, black mammy character. You can check her out on screen. And I couldn't understand why, if they wanted to entertain kids, why didn't they just entertain us? Why throw in like this casual racism?
What's
In fact, it's not even
entertainment
that
without
casual.
racism?
You know, like she didn't even need to be there. The lazy black woman trope was unnecessary. But what is positive, and this, I loved this woman, I adored this woman. Storm in the cartoon version of X-Men, for me, was the world. She was powerful, she was independent, she didn't need nobody. I mean, the woman affected the weather. Do you know what I mean?
I summon the cold of the Arctic winds. Wind, repel him!
That is Storm taking on a room full of men. And excuse the old graphics, but it still stands. She was powerful. She was a force to be
And
reckoned
do you
with.
guys know that she, in the comics, she's actually Black Panther's girlfriend?
I mean,
Come
you know what I'm
on.
saying? I didn't know that, but yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, I don't think anyone's going to see mine coming. I had a few. I liked Superman. I liked the Yellow Power Ranger. She was really cool and quite lethal. And then we never listened to this at home, but obviously the penny dropped somewhere for me with Elvis being known as the king. And when I was 7, I wrote "What do I want to be when I grow up?" Essay at school, and I asked my teacher what rock and roll is in Afrikaans because I want to be Elvis one day.
So you wanted to be a king?
I wanted to just be the king, more than the hair and the music. I mean, I don't even have a single Elvis song on my playlist at the moment.
You want us to be a cultural force, and here you are on Trending SN. Look at
Okay,
you.
whoa.
So you wanted your own white parade?
Basically.
Listen, so we are who we are today because of what we mainly consume from home, at school, the discussions we have with our friends, and also by what we see in the media. When it comes to representation of different groups and the reproduction of racial and ethnic stereotypes, the media matters. Partly because they are the key filter through which we all see ourselves, you know? The media has played a huge role in shaping how we relate to one another. So now, you know, what do you say?
So, you know, I guess the thing is this, not all damaging stereotypes are blunt and obvious. I think what worries me the most are those stereotypes that are subtle, they're insidious. And so we're watching this and we're getting our social cues about how we should behave, what to expect of other groups, and how other groups actually behave. And I think that's when it becomes most insidious. And the problem is always when racial ethnic minorities are at the receiving end of these stereotypes, and of course, people without the cultural and hegemonic power to affect the conversation.
Okay. Now I'll pose a question to both of you.
Yeah.
Are we who we want to be, or are we shaped by the media?
Okay, so I definitely believe that we can be who we want to be if at home, the soil that we're grown in can provide a real counterweight to those outside influences, right? But it matters what is also what's happening out there. Gina Davis, the actress, has a whole foundation which is geared towards advocating for women's representation on TV and in movies, right? So there's a whole checklist. How many women are protagonists in a movie or in a show? How many women actually have lines? We don't just see them, but they actually talk on screen. How many women have agency within those shows as well? So there's a whole checklist that we have to check because studies essentially show that if women, me and you and young girls, don't see themselves represented on screen as having agency, as making their own decisions, as being powerful, you think in real life you aren't powerful, you don't have agency, and you can't make your own decisions.
I think those girls should watch less series and more sport because in sport, a lot of representative change has taken place. We have seen women hosting football, cricket, rugby, commentating, even working as referees in matches that are played by 2 men's teams. We have moved on a lot in some areas.
So this is counterintuitive. Sports has progressed more than entertainment.
Ironically.
All right.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything, you know, because I'm important like that. I asked Ukutala Holton to actually articulate my point for me from Glow Public. There she is.
All right.
Advertising has played a significant role in perpetuating stereotypes forever to convey concepts. And it can be said that there's good purpose in that. However, the use of stereotyping can also have negative effects and often perpetuate old and irrelevant ideologies and can be downright offensive. You see it comes through in advertising through the ideas, the selection of the cast, location, and even the clothes that the cast members will wear. And some of the common stereotypes that are applied are the gender stereotype of seeing mom still being very excited to do laundry and serve her husband a meal after a long day at the office. And it's never mom in a power suit. It's never dad doing the laundry, and it's never mom and mom, the parents. Racial stereotyping, we see it where the middle market black man parks his luxury car outside a small Anyana apartment, and it appears that only black women are single moms in Adland. We see cultural and socioeconomic stereotyping. The Chinese guy always got a camera around his neck. The Afrikaans guy is always in khakis. And Umama is never seen retiring content by the sea. So I don't believe we are seeing enough positive narratives and representation of the real world in our industry.
She said
Thank
it all.
you, Kuthala. She said it all. And the thing is, I always struggle with the ads when I see these older women going, when are you getting married? And I'm just like, no woman, none of the older women in my family. Don't speak like that. My mom is at that age and she doesn't speak like that. But that's who we are in the media. And then it's like these little boys have to watch, like, I wasn't happy when I saw Hancock.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first black superhero on mainstream, and yet he was an alcoholic. Meanwhile, Superman is only allergic to a rock.
Yeah. So Superman is a sweet Gonyane, he's a little angel.
Yeah.
I'm less concerned though, and I hear you, I'm less concerned about characters on screen than the actual gatekeepers, right? My thing is this, if we have more representation in the room where decisions are given the go-ahead, if we have a Bev Dietzi, for instance, who is saying, yes, I'm going to greenlight this project, it does so much for the value chain down the line. If we have a Janet Mock, for instance, the woman who created Pose, it also makes that representation, finally, the end result on screen, so much easier. It means that when you have a queer character, you don't have to justify the life and the actions of a queer person.
I like that.
It's already understood right at the top.
But these gender stereotypes start at home. So when you grow up and your parents don't teach you, like my mom watched rugby and I watched rugby with her, not with my dad. He doesn't care about sport.
Sure.
So in our world, it wasn't a gendered pursuit. If those people then grow up and go into ad agencies or go write movies, they won't write movies in that boring age-old stereotype way.
And can I tell you something? I walked into a shop to prove that we need representation. I walked into the shop and I saw this, and immediately I knew that there was no Nguni person in the room.
What, the
because
bread?
because if there was a Nguni person in the room, they would have read that name.
Oh my goodness.
Go low.
You need to read that in a Zulu accent.
I would never. Can I
What
tell you
is that?
something? Right now, there is somebody, an elder person, sitting in front of a computer with the BCCSA, and they're waiting. They're ready for me to actually say that on screen, and I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
Is it like...
But bigger.
And nastier. Incredibly vulgar. Incredibly vulgar. I guess this sets it up, right, guys? If you're watching right now and this hasn't convinced you that diversity is key, you can avoid issues and mistakes like that. At any rate, conversations around perception, stereotype, society, and identity are always so incredibly eye-opening and entertaining. Thanks, Maple. If you have something to add to this conversation, go on our social media platforms and make your opinions heard. See you on the flip side. I love that.
And welcome back. You're still watching Trending SA. Before we go, let's play a game. Basically, we'll be revealing to South Africa our last social media interaction. And this one is called Phone Ambush.
Dramarama. Okay, so this is how the game works. You each need to pick a number. Behind each number is a social media icon. Each of these icons reveals a challenge. But you won't be reading from your own phone. We're going to be swapping phones. So Minister Refilwe
Minister of
Mpakanyane
Health, Safety and
Sanitation
Hygiene.
is here sanitizing
Go, I
phones.
got this. Guys, don't ever say I never did anything for you.
Thank you.
Don't ever say I never did anything
Okay, let's
for you.
get into it. Let's go. Mable, pick a number.
I picked the number 2.
Number 2 says Twitter, last DM. Refilwe, you've got
I've
his
got
phone.
your phone, Maple. So, wrong way around. There we go.
We're going into Mable's DMs, guys.
Okay, let's check it out. It goes down in the DM. Let's see what's on
hello,
the screen.
yay.
Avocados. Oh, what
Is
what's
that
funny, Ann?
Is that code for
What's up
something?
with avos?
That's how you ripen an avocado, a rotten apple.
So you're planning avo toast on your... No, boring. Okay. I propose we move on to WhatsApps.
No, guys, that's not how it
No.
works.
DMs, your DMs
We
aren't
need
it.
juice. Bring the
Hang on
juice.
2 seconds.
Mama,
There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. God
Yeah.
bless you. Heart iyashaya ke lenhliziyo ithi ndo.
Don't.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so
What's
cute.
that?
Notice
So
happening there.
basically, okay. So I bought my mom airtime. So my mom loves 3 things. It's Jesus, airtime, and her children, right? So I put airtime second because she uses the airtime to call other
finished.
people who love Jesus and just talk about Jesus. And if you're wondering why I'm having that face, Alma, it's because as a black person, you can't say Jesus nje. You have to say Jesus and savor the taste of the Lord.
Ah, beautiful.
Okay,
Mom is
Refilwe,
so sweet.
pick a number.
Middle
Your turn.
center. I'm kidding. Give me 4.
Number 4 for Refilwe, WhatsApp. Show us the last text. I've got your phone from your parents.
Okay.
Gosh.
Okay. Oh, it's up there already?
Yeah.
They were very... Wat gaan nie aan? Tabo, is that like the boss Tabo?
That's
No.
my dad. I call
You
him
have your
by his
dad
name.
saved as Tabo.
Yes, that's his name.
Not-
I mean, what do you want?
Because mine says Papa.
No, that's his name, Tabo. Let's go ahead.
What is he going on about permits here?
So weren't reminiscing, but we're talking about some writing that he's doing and talking about the conditions under which black people worked during apartheid. So you had to get a special
So it's not a
dispensation
now
to-
permit.
It's not a now thing. It's back in the day.
That's the conversation you have with your dad.
It's always deep in our family.
is this how
okay?
you relax?
This is no, it's not relaxation.
With Section
It's communication.
10 AP
I get it.
citations.
You young ones don't know that in order to move forward, you need to look back and know your
Not
history.
on WhatsApp.
I'm just saying. Okay, Elma,
Elma,
you need to choose a
you
number
need to
actually
play.
before we run
Okay,
out of
number
time.
3. 3,
All
please.
right.
You've got
Right.
Elma's phone. What's happening?
Okay,
On
Facebook.
Ach, that's easy, man.
Okay.
Such an embarrassment.
There we
This
go.
weekend, long
Right.
weekend, for the last 11, 12 years, I used to go to Opikopi. So this
Okay,
was
that's
assigned
it.
at Opikopi in 2014. Absolutely no selfies, racists.
Oh my
Lockenville.
goodness.
What did
What's
Lockenville
happening in
do?
Lockenville, right?
These are all my friends, and we were having a good time. This was Opikopi 2015.
Look at that, hugging people, being
This
outside.
was me and a friend wearing the same doek. I don't know why.
That's adorable.
We were having a lot of fun there.
What were you
Was
guys
this day
drinking?
one of
Well, you don't
Opikopi?
shower a lot at Opikopi, and it's very dusty, and your hair are like lekker nie. So then sometimes you just...
But now you're sitting
Wait,
so
by
close
shower
together. Tell
lot.
me this is day 1.
Yeah.
Because BO
This
is
might
real.
have been later on. This might have been. It looks by my facial expression. I don't think this was early because I'm also wearing
Gosh.
sunglasses.
This has really made me so envious.
You know
yeah.
what? On that unhygienic note, good night. See you tomorrow.
Whoa.
And tomorrow we have Ubaba Lalache, captain of the Springbok women's
Yes.
team. You don't want to miss it. Good night,
good
South
one.
Africa. We love you.